Classic Gamer here. Today I just wanted to do a very long video that is going to show you my entire World War II collection with reproductions up to this point. I've gotten a lot of stuff recently, so let's just get right into it. This is one of my loves. I love history, I love World War II, and I love the airborne, as you can see by this 82nd Airborne patch on my 42 field jump jacket, which we will get to in a minute. So first up we have my 1st Infantry Division Sergeant's M43 field jacket, which I don't know if it's original. If it has original, it's foreign because it just doesn't look right. And this is my school jacket, so it has my pencil in it. You can see it's a 1st Infantry Division, regular old sergeant, big red one. The airborne were also issued these. This is what I use for my reenacting airborne stuff because it's not worth it to take the patches off, and I don't really want to buy another one. So until I have the money to buy another one, I'm just going to use the 1st Infantry one. So next up, I'm going to move this. Show you my wool jacket. It's a Technician Corporal. It does not have a division on either side, but it has a ruptured duck, symbolizing that it did in fact serve in World War II. And then one other thing on here is this is 6 months. Each one is 6 months, so 6, 12, 18, 26, 12, 18, 24, 32, 38 months would be exactly 3 years in combat, being overseas. That guy was probably demoted a few times because he's only T5 or whatever it is. And we have my uncle's unit, 43rd Infantry Division, HBTs, which I use for anything really when I'm in the 96th. And the trousers in there. I'm going to have to get a new one of these soon because this one almost doesn't fit. Seems really small. And finally we're going to get to the airborne stuff. This is what I'm going to use for my impression, which I might do a video on eventually. So I have the reinforced elbows, pockets, and knees. 42 field jacket, 82nd Airborne. I hope to put some sergeant stripes on here and a flag, which is in here. One other thing I want to show you real quick. This is the cricket. This is what they would use to find guys in their unit. 1 click would be answered by 2. So I just keep that in my pocket. Now, they would also hang that around their neck, but it didn't really matter. And my pants, which have the 101st leg ties, but there's really no difference. Like, who's gonna care? NCO's belt on there, and then, like as I said, the reinforced pockets and knees. That's just a medic helmet. Stack of helmets that I use, that my dad has that I use. Next up, I have my general purpose bag, which is original. Most of that stuff you saw was reproduction. HBT, well, I think only the 42s were reproduction. Everything else was probably original, but I think the 43 was foreign. Anyway, this is my original general purpose bag. It's in a flood, so it's in worse condition than I got it in. It has the strap on it. Open this up for a second. I just like to make it look like it's full. It is in Aimer Fabrics, 1943. I just stuff blankets and stuff in there. And they'd use this for anything: ammo, grenades, rifle grenades, mortar rounds, TNT, like in Band of Brothers. Hall has one of those on. Private John Hall, rest in peace, has one of these on. And it has TNT in it. They use it to blow up the 88s. And so we'll just move on to my helmet, which has a khaki net in it. And it is airborne, as indicated by the snaps. And the chin cup tucked in down there. The A-yokes. They do it like this when they're on the ground because you don't really want straps hanging out. There's an NCO stripe on it because I am a sergeant or a staff sergeant, depending, or even a technical sergeant, depending on what campaign I'm in. So I'll usually just be an NCO. In Europe, I have a khaki net on there. Looks pretty cool. I like that helmet. It's one of my favorites. And here's my airborne cap, which has the late war, and then it has my major pin on there. Because when I was younger, I was obsessed with the rank of major. I loved it. Always wanted to be a major. The airborne patch. Well, now let's get to pretty much just the standard uniforms and equipment. Let's go with the thing closest to the camera, I guess. Here we have my unmarked. I don't know why it's unmarked, but it is original. The hat was original and the helmet was not, by the way. Just my Thompson pouch, which will hold. This is the only one I have at the moment. I'll hold 130 or 120. This is a 30 in here. This is a trick that they used. They wrap it around and then just have 130 sticking out of there. I didn't have my 20 handy. I really should have. My dummy magazines that fit in here really well, actually. As you can see, it's unmarked. It's not even marked under the straps or anything. But this is what I like to run around with when I'm using my Thompson. I'll put it on this belt, which I will get to in a minute. That is an original piece, but it does not have a marking on it at all, which kind of sucks. Let's get this out of the way, I guess. Here we have my, I didn't want to really take this apart, so I kind of just left it as is. My 1936 Musette bag with my 1943 dated 36 suspenders with the airborne felt pads, because I love airborne. So most of this stuff is based around the airborne. And you just have just your standard 36 suspenders. On this side, we actually have a 1911 pouch on the suspenders, which I've seen pictures of guys doing just to keep it out of the way. I have my mags in there, which are on loan for me, because my dad just loaned them to me, and they're good pouch fillers. There's my suspenders and my Musette bag, and something cool about this Musette bag. It's original, of course. The suspenders are too, 1943 dated. And that 1911 pouch is original. The only thing that probably aren't original, that you can never really tell, are those shoulder pads, felt pads, as the airborne call them. And that would just keep the weight down, because 36 suspenders are quite thin. But inside of here, I actually have a World War II U.S. Airborne, or hell, even a pilot could use it, I guess, parachute. I have a scarf that I cut off of this for my mannequin, which will actually be on my impression once I want to get it off of there. It's marked U.S. It is an Atlantic Product Score, 1942. Pretty cool, and then the suspenders are 43. This is a Normandy setup, because everything's mid-war. I think I'm going to do belt next. So this is my reenacting pistol belt. It is a reproduction. It's not marked anywhere. It doesn't have the snap like the original though. And so it's just like the original pretty much, but it doesn't have the snap and it's dark green. But it's great for reenacting. Pretty nice. Sorry, that was just my sister getting in the way. I wanted something and I told her to be quiet. And so this is just what I use for reenacting. I'll throw some reenactor grade stuff or reproduction stuff on there. Use it. This is my original US 1943 dated pistol belt, which I put my rigger pouches and carbine pouches on for my airborne stuff. I'm kind of just slowly chewing away at this. Nice khaki pistol belt. That will be the base for my impression. I've had my impression put together, but I took it apart just to show you everything taken apart. That's why the suspenders are still together, because I just really didn't want to take them apart. Here we have my reproduction Corcoran jump boots, which are 11.5, but my toes only go to about here, but they were the best I could get. And I wear these when I'm reenacting too. Here we have what a lot of airborne guys preferred over the T-handle stuff. My 1943 dated entrenching tool cover, which is an original, US marked. It's a Tulsa Canvas Products Co. 1943. With I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, there it is. Original entrenching tool marked US wood 1943. These aren't that common. Why did I say 1943? That's 45. Yeah, 45. Honestly, you can't see the date, so I just put it in the 43, and you just never know. So hardy, har. I think I'm going to work from right to left now. I have my really crappy, just overall shit 1910 pouch. I don't even know. I only kept 2. I had like 4, but I only kept the best ones. This was the second best. First best, of course, was on my gear. The lifted dot's starting to come out. I've stuck magazines in here. It doesn't look that good though. It's a piece of shit. Pouch. Which isn't original, but it's been used. And this is my reproduction. 1936. I can't remember. 28. I don't even remember. It's really not that well made. This is for my reenacting stuff. It's a Medcore saddle coat, but I don't think they actually made during the war. Not certain though. Next up, I'm going to do my carbine pouches from earliest to latest. I'm going to start with the middle, which is, it looks like a piece of dog shit, honestly. Reproduction, 1943, buttstock carbine, M1 carbine, buttstock pouch, which is dated R.B. Hansen, MFG Co. 1942, with snap on the back. It's just a piece of junk. I'll stick my mags in each of these just so you can see what they look like. Mags in them. I only have 2 carbine magazines. I really need to get some more, but they're expensive as hell. They're like 15 to 20 bucks a pop. Very expensive. That's what that one looks like with its mags in it. This is technically the earliest, but it isn't a reproduction. It's a piece of dog shit. It's a piece of garbage. Don't worry about it. Comment below what that movie is. I don't think anybody will get it because nobody watches my videos. But whatever, I do this for fun. This is the 1943 dated... I've never actually looked. I think it's like G Canvas 43, but it isn't original. This is the one that magazines were actually in. I've had these magazines since I was like 9, guys. I've had my mags for a long, long time. That's what that looks like with mags in it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Pull a mag out of that. Nice carbine pouch. Next up, we have another oldie that I've had for a long time. The only reason why my dad gave this to me, because the buttstock pouches are so expensive. The only reason why he gave it to me is because some idiot, and this is really rare stuff right here. This is dark green. Really rare. They only made a limited number of these, but some idiot decided to split the seam down the middle. I can still put mags in it and everything, though. It's a Caden 1943. I can still stick my mags in there, but they rub together on the back, and that's never really good. This actually used to be on the back of my Airsoft M1 carbine. I took it off because it was stretching it out a lot. That's what that one looks like full. Looks pretty much just like the other one. Seam split down the middle, and the mags are rubbing together, and I hate that sound. So you don't really need to see these two both with mags in them. So they're basically the same. They're both two-toned. Just this is the one that I've had for a really long time, and this is my reenacting one. This is how long these my mags have been in here. You can see the holes from where the mags have worn. You can see the 3 holes from where the mags have worn through. I'm just gonna put mags in the other one because they're the same. They're both Midland Fabrics, 44, excuse me. Look, you can tell that mags have been in both of these. And then these were for hanging first aid pouches and stuff off of. But this is my oldie. This is the one that I used to play with when I was 9 years old. And then my other one, which I just got recently from a family friend. My dad's friend, I guess you could say. He's not really a family friend. Yeah, I spent $150 on him. Got a jump jacket. I got my jump jacket, that helmet, the reproduction carbine pouch, this carbine pouch, and the entrenching tool from him. So we can thank him for those. That's what those look. That's what those two would look like. Magazines in them, except the other one would have them poking out the top because I've had mags in them for so damn long. Those are all my carbine pouches. I don't need the clips anymore. And next up, we got the first aid pouch that my dad actually used to use when he was young. I really cannot read that. I think it's 1942 or 43, something canvas, but it is original. My dad was using this before there were any reproductions. And a little trick I'm going to teach you guys is if you don't want to pay the money for a excuse me, pay the money for a regular first aid pouch packet, an Altoids can works really well. And it also includes a nice snack, nice modern day snack with your airborne stuff in your first aid pouch. Kind of funny. But. And here's the only non-airborne thing here, or army thing, which is my reproduction U.S. Marine Corps canteen cover. And my canteen, which I've had for a really long time, which is a Volrath 1943. Had this one for a long time. Drank a lot of bottles of water out of this. And then we got the Marine Corps canteen cover, which I've used with my Navy Corpsman impression and my Okinawa impression, which were both very fun to do. But all that gear was borrowed from my dad. I'm starting to buy my own gear for my own purposes. Here is my 1941 raised canteen cover, which is a piece of garbage, and the lift the dot just completely pops out. This lift the dot's hard to lift. Am I funny yet? Oh, dang. It is original. I've never read a date on it, but it's definitely original. My canteen cup, which I do not want to drink from. Gotta hurry up because my camera's gonna run out of time. I'm just gonna try and stuff this back in relatively quickly. I got 4 minutes to get 6 items done. That's what that looks like. There we go. It's kind of uneven, but that's what you get on a time crunch. Okay, I gotta hurry up. It's technically 3 items because most of them are the same. Here's my M18 red smoke grenade. This has been popped, which I found in a building in Ogden, Utah. Just found it. With a bunch of helmets. Bunch of fixed bail helmets, which is really cool. M18 Smoke Red. And next up we have my reproduction M3 trench knife with the leather scabbard. USM 6WM Co. 1943. With the ordnance bomb on it. Back's nothing special. You get a leg strap for this. I just used a cut-off piece from the USM 1943 knife. Next we have my Pride and Joys. I really need to learn how to make my own, but these came from Herb Zamar. Good guy, you can look him up on Google. He makes these, sells them on occasion on eBay. I'm just going to show you one. Show you all 3 together first. Like that. And then these are just really well made, actually. I love them. Nice and khaki, nice khaki color. The trick is, you build 10 stacks of 6x2 Legos, and they look like carbine magazines when you close it. Looks like that. It slides onto your belt. This does not have the 1910 hooks, which a lot of people can get mad at. Those are my 3. This is the one I use for reenacting, and these 2 are for my impression. This one goes on my impression too, but this is the one that I'll beat up. And these 2 go on my impression. And that is it. I'm just going to show you my 1980s reproduction rough outs. Up here, chin cup. My model Thompson submachine gun, which is really cool. That's the 20-round magazine that I couldn't get to. Post-war Thompson sling. My Denix M1A1 carbine, which I have already done a review on. Pretty cool. And that's it. That's the leftovers of everything that I've tossed around throughout this entire video. Go check out the rest of my videos. They're pretty cool. This is my first World War II video. I've collected a lot of this stuff over the years. A lot of this is old. A lot of this is pretty much brand new. Here's my mannequin who has my Jeep cap, reproduction at the front Jeep cap, scarf I was talking about, and then my old 42 jump jacket and pants that don't fit anymore. 504th, 82nd. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh, do something on this real quick while I still have a minute. And okay, so this is my dad's cartridge belt, which I am currently paying him for. Still owe him for it, but it's a nice 1943, I think, cartridge belt. I do have an M1 Garand, but it's in the vault right now that I bought, and I'm not allowed to have it until I'm 18, pretty much. So I just go in there and look at it and shoot it on occasion. And just a little display that I have up here. My officer. So go check out my other videos. They're pretty cool. Not as cool as this, though. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.